Let's talk about Jimmy G. So, what'd you see from him this year? Would you move on from him next year?
Saw the same that I saw last year. He's a one-read quarterback, doesn't live to play another down, doesn't make proper reads, makes mental errors, and ultimately, you can see Shanahan's frustration on the sideline. I mean, he can go and talk to us in the media and be like, "Oh, we're proud of what." You can talk all the fluff he wants, but at the end of the day, we all know he's upset with Jimmy Garoppolo, which is why they went after Tom Brady, or actually spoke about Tom Brady. And people were giving us crap like, "Oh no, that's not happening. You guys are just hating." No, it's actually the truth. And now it's true.
Yeah.
Same thing happens this year. Jimmy Garoppolo will not be the quarterback of the San Francisco 49ers. Steve Young even came out and said that he probably won't be back.
Yeah.
And the $24.1 million that you're saving from moving on and wiping your hand clean of Jimmy Garoppolo can go towards who? Fred Warner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then they can draft a quarterback. So the best predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And if you look at Kyle Shanahan, what he did when he became the coach of the San Francisco 49ers, he traded up in the third round for CJ Beathard, if I'm not mistaken.
Right. He did.
And he said he wasn't thinking that he would be available, which is why he traded up. Same philosophy is going to happen in this upcoming draft. I'm just going to say it. They're going to draft a quarterback and they're going to trade up for one that they really like.
Yes. And that's, usually teams, when they draft a quarterback, they trade up for him because it creates, I don't know, it creates the impression with your local fans like, hey, we really wanted this guy. It's not like he was just there and we were thinking like, hey, why not? Like, no, this is who we wanted. Didn't the Texans trade up for Watson? I mean, the Chiefs traded up for Mahomes.
Right.
Oh, yeah, I could see that. And, if they trade Jimmy, they'll have a first-round pick plus the pick they get from him, and they'll have some ammunition to move up, plus the third-round comp they'll get for Tart. Yes, they'll have some ammunition.
Yeah, they're going to have a lot of draft capital, but then how they use that draft capital, because remember, Grant, they had 2 first-round picks, and they kind of blew that one, in my opinion. They made the wrong moves. Yeah,
and they definitely blew their first-round picks in 2017.
Yeah.
Once someone asked about Zach Wilson from BYU, a lot of people are looking at him because it looks like the Niners probably aren't going to get a shot to get Lawrence, Fields, or Lance. Those guys could all go top 5, and there's a lot of bad teams in the league with like 1 or 2 wins. So people look at Zach Wilson. He's a West Coast guy. He's currently projected like right outside the top 10, although that could change. And the guy previously, Sean said, he reminds me a lot of Ty Detmer, who set records at BYU and then came to the NFL, was a flop. The only BYU quarterback who's really worked out is Steve Young. And I don't see Steve Young when I watch Zach Wilson. What do you see from him, or any? Have you studied any of these first round?
I did. What do you think? You hit it right on the nail. I don't think that because of the 49ers draft position, they'll have a chance at any one of those top tier quarterbacks. You have to look into the tier 2s, and Zach Wilson is at the top of that tier 2 list. I like Zach Wilson. I like his skill set. I think he brings an excitement to the position that hasn't been seen in San Francisco since Colin Kaepernick in terms of his mobile running game. However, can he hold up? He's a little bit tiny, a little bit on the smaller side. And in the NFL, I know all the rules are dictated toward the offense, and especially the quarterback and protecting the quarterback. But at the end of the day, he's really small. And can he sustain those hits from the middle linebackers? I just don't know if that's going to be a longevity issue for him, but time will tell. But I do like what I see from him. He's very poised. He makes sound decisions, quick, decisive reads, and he can win in Kyle Shanahan's offense. Now, what does Kyle Shanahan want? At the end of the day, it comes down to Kyle Shanahan. And if Kyle Shanahan believes that he's not the answer because of whatever his height, weight, speed, because he can't see over the offensive line when or whatever the case may be, then he's going to roll in another direction.
I've heard that what's his face? Zach Wilson is working out with John Beck, and John Beck played for Kyle Shanahan. So that's just one call away from being like, hey, what do you think of this kid? I really like watching tape of Zach Wilson. He's a lot of fun. Yeah. He's got a quick release. He can throw the short slants. He can throw deep. He can really move. I don't know if he can operate with bodies around him because he never has a pass rush in his face. He's playing against no defense. So I don't know. But one thing that concerns me is that he has had shoulder surgery, and it was a non-contact injury. He's just had issues with his shoulder. So I would have to get my medical staff to look at that. But I think of the tier 2 guys, he's my favorite, and I'm not even sure he'll be there. I think if the Niners get a shot to take him, they'll get him. And if they put him in Shanahan's offense, I think he'd be terrific in it. I think he'd be just great. But what if he's not there and the best option they have is like was it Mac Jones from Alabama?
That's my boy,
And
Alabama.
Kyle Trask from Florida.
I like Mac Jones. I think from Alabama. So I look at Mac Jones. I cover all college football games too on the weekends. I usually don't have a weekend because of college football, and doing game grades. But Mac Jones, to me, obviously Roll Tide, Alabama's my favorite college. I've been following Mac Jones all season and last year. He's a player to me who's kind of on the rise in terms of what Joe Burrow was last year. What I mean by that is Joe Burrow was like a 5th-round pick projected heading into the preseason.
True.
And then he catapulted all the way to number 1 at the end of the year. Mac Jones is not going to have that high of a ceiling. I think he's more of a, he's coming into the year as more of a 4th, 5th-round pick. And the highest ceiling that I see him at right now is probably like a 2nd or 3rd-round grade. But what I see from Mac Jones is I see a lot of poise from him. He makes, again, good intermediate throws, and he doesn't get rattled. That's the one thing I like about Mac Jones is no matter where the pressure is coming from, he doesn't get rattled. He lives to play another down, unlike Jimmy Garoppolo. He makes quick, decisive decisions, unlike Jimmy Garoppolo. And he understands route concepts and how to beat coverages and how to read coverages pre-snap, which Jimmy Garoppolo, again, has trouble doing.